Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. And we are back in Monster Hunter World, as you can see, and well, today we are going to be taking on the Kestodon, apparently. Interesting. So who knows, of course, what else we'll find along the way there. Now, I thought the next battle would be the Great Jagras, but no, it is indeed a Kestodon battle. So let us go and grab that one right there. It says there that Zora Magdaros's appearance has driven a herd of Kestodon to new territory, so we'll need to go out and thin that herd of headbutters. Interesting that it does mention that they are headbutters. Interesting. Okay, and of course, as always, we've got 50 minutes to go and do that. Now, I will just, of course, quickly be heading up to the canteen, but just first going to pay a visit here to the ecological research, and basically saying that, well, the tracks and the gashes and stuff we find with the monsters that we can actually investigate, and that's going to help the ecologist here learn a bit more about the creatures. And of course, we also still have the monster field guide here as well. So there are Great Jagras. I really thought we were going to hunt Great Jagras, but no, not today. We've got Anjanath as well in the ancient forest. We've got Zora Magdaros that also passed through. Alrighty, so let's now head up to the canteen. But before we do that, I do realize I have been standing with my charge blade, and yeah, I have been practicing with the charge blade, as was suggested in the previous video, that maybe I should try using the charge blade. But unfortunately, I haven't had enough time to really come to grips with it, so I will possibly by the next episode start using the charge blade a bit. But for now, I am still going to, for now at least, carry on with the hunter's knife. Here we go, something I'm a little bit more comfortable with thus far. And it's important to be comfortable on a hunt, otherwise, you're just going to stuff things up. You need to know your equipment. I do like this one, the veggie platter giving me more health and stamina, and my palico also a little bit more health, so let's go for that one, shall we? Alrighty, now we are ready. Let's go have a look at the Kestodon.
Wanna get going?
Yeah, we'll head out in a moment, so we need to kill 3 Kestodon males and 5 Kestodon females. Now, last time we did also see these Aptonoth over here, the whole herd of them. Oh, I see there are probably some Kestodon over there as well. Let's have a look here. You see there are some Kestodon right there, 2 of them. Whole herd of Aptonoth. Now, it makes sense that the Aptonoth would actually congregate here because, well, this is a dangerous environment. And we've got Anjanath and we've got Great Jagras and we've got all kinds of stuff flying around as well in the ancient forest, so it's not a safe place. But being in this open environment allows them to actually spot danger from quite far away. For example, at the university that I work, we've got things like the bushbuck, which are antelope that generally occur in forest. But when they're actually spending time feeding, they head to the rugby field and other open flat areas where they can see for miles. And if you look on those fields, you will see so much dung. So they spend most of the evenings just grazing away where it's nice and open and they can see everything around them. So it makes sense that the Aptonoth over here and the Kestodon want to spend their time in a safe place where they can see danger approaching. Not that it helps them though. I'm sure the Anjanath will still come in and grab some of them. I'm pretty sure that Great Jagras also manages to kill quite a few of them over the course of, the year.
Ah, there we are. Those, my friend, are Kestodon. Let's see you take him out on your own.
Let's have a look there. Of course, we've still got the Aptonoth over here, and then there is what seems to be a male Kestodon. Okay, a little bit more ruddy brown, orangish color, bigger crest, I believe, than the females. There we go, there are the females, yeah. Females do have the domes, and they've got a kind of spikes, but in the males, those spikes are much more elongated. Notice how the head lines up with the neck and then the vertebrae. Well, that is there to make sure that when they do headbutt, it absorbs some of the shock. It doesn't, break its neck every time it butts its head. But that's a quick jump to the back. Very strong hind legs, it seems, as well. So relatively agile. Also, it looks like, I thought they had bones sticking out on the side of their head, but those look like ears. Those ears? They do look like ears. Doesn't look like bones. No, it looks like there's a tube going in. Now, those external ears are very interesting. You can see there the Aptonoth does not have that. And dinosaurs did not have that. Nor do birds, nor do reptiles actually have external ears. That is a very, very strange adaptation. May be there for ceremonial purposes, for display, basically. May also be there just to hear a little bit better. Maybe to channel some sound waves along there, but no idea why they've got that, because as I said, reptiles don't have that. Reptiles will just have a little slit or little opening. Now when we are under attack, we most likely will see the Kestodon actually lining its body up with us and then charging kind of blindly forward. Most likely wouldn't actually be able to see that perfectly directly in front of it, so they most likely will line up and then just kind of charge and hope they hit us in the process. I'm not sure, we'll have to see in a moment. But there is also only one male and then 2 females, it seems, in this herd, meaning that they are a polygynous species. One male will have many females. Most likely this is the strongest male, and he has gained control over a harem of females. A very small harem, but a harem nonetheless. Okay, it is time for us, though, to try and get closer. He most likely will do more of a threat display to try and intimidate us to go away. Yep, Kestodon male. Yes, indeed. We know there is a male. Hello there. Okay, vocalizing. Oh, the female is also becoming part of the aggressive display. And she's actually... Okay, no, never mind. She is not more aggressive. Oh, wow. Everyone is upset. Wow. Okay, okay. Look at him shaking his frill. Look at him trying to... there we see. He was really just charging blindly there. But using that big frill as a really effective display... Ooh, yeah, hit that Ep.2. Shame. Collateral damage there, not what he was aiming for. Ooh, even hit the female. Oh, hit my Palico. Yeah, really are charging blindly. I was correct there. They don't... Oh, look at that. Smashing the head. Very often you'll see that kind of display also with some antelope when they are trying to intimidate their rivals. They will wipe their horns against the ground to try and intimidate their rival. In this case, to try and intimidate us. It's not working. We're just running around, running circles around them. Hello there. And there we go. Again, kind of a line up and a headbutt. Now, they do have that very spongy tissue in the front of their head. We'll have a look at that when we have a look at another herd, because when we have to definitely kill another herd, there are only 3 here, and we need to kill 8. That spongy tissue will absorb some of the shock of the impact as they hit the predator or combatant that they are trying to fight. Hello. Oh, Shama Palico is bearing the brunt of this. Also, they do have armored tails, but they don't seem to be using the armored tails in their defense. Hello, you want to whack me with your tail? No? The females do seem to be kind of more just backup. They don't seem to actually be doing anything and, you know, hitting us. Come on, you want to hit me? No? The females just part of the territorial display or the aggressive display, trying to intimidate us to leave. Most animals don't want to fight. They don't want to have themselves potentially injured. So for them, the best outcome would be just doing a threat display, like the female here is doing, vocalizing, trying to appear bigger, lifting that tail, shaking the head, and then getting us to just go away in the process. And now there are 2 of them, now there are 3 of them. And if they can then succeed in us going away with just that, that is mission accomplished. They don't have to actually engage us. They don't have to fight us, they don't have to try and bite us, try and hit us, and we can't hit them, or bite them, or injure them in any way. That would be ideal for them. However, we're not listening to their threat display. Okay, shame. Memphis is not looking too great there. Okay, so this has to end now. Sorry, guys. Okay, he did finally get a hit on me. Oh, and another hit. I have not been dodging. And there we go. There's the male down. The females should fall quite easily. They don't actually attack. And there we go. And now, of course, the revultures immediately arrive. They are the scavengers in the area, after all. Oh, no, these are not... No, they're not dead. Oh, oops. Okay, listen, I've been... I thought they were dead. Meanwhile, they were just kind of almost dead. Oh, wow, look at that. The female now actually charged. Here I was thinking that she is defenseless, but no, she could actually attack. There we go. Alright, now, Kestodon like that, I would imagine to find in a little bit relatively open habitat, mainly because they also are prey animals. Like, they would be very, very easy prey for things like the Anjanath and, well, what other big things we have running around here, like the Great Jagras. Alright, apparently we've got to head that way. I thought the Kestodons were down here, but no, apparently they're not. Okay, apparently we've got to carry on a bit. Ah, there are some more shepherd's hares here, so let's see if we can actually catch one. Oh, that was close.
Much later.
Ah, there we go. Finally got one. A shepherd hare. Follow one and you might discover a shortcut. Oh. There's a shortcut along here? I don't think so. I think this is literally just a dead end. Ooh, flower beds. But looking at this... Okay, now if I can just have a look with my binoculars, because we can really zoom in quite nicely. This is South Africa's national flower, the King Protea. Protea cynaroides. Definitely a beautiful, beautiful plant. This is actually not a flower. This is a whole inflorescence, a whole cluster of flowers. Each one of those little things, those little strands you see on the inside, those are actually flowers. And they are grouped together and then held in this like inflorescence by these bracts over there. So by these pinkish scale leaves in essence. Now there is an inflorescence that isn't open yet. And then here is one that is open. So at this point, they would be pollinated by birds. A lot of sunbirds and sugarbirds would come and perch on here, actually land on the flower, and then insert the beak there. In the process, they will get pollen stuck all over their face. And then they drink nectar from the base of these flowers. So they are very, very nectar rich, these flowers. So let's harvest this. Let's see what we get from it. But this is Protea cynaroides. They're very, very big. They really are amazing. Would love to have some of these in our garden. And there is another one right over here. I'm getting quite annoyed at the team leader because he keeps on yelling over here at me. So let's head on over to him so he can stop yelling at us. Like, I know we've got a mission and all, but there are awesome things to have a look at. Mr. Team Leader. There we go, there it is. Okay, now you can stop being annoying, Mr. Team Leader. Is this what you wanted to show us? A whole bunch more Kestodon down there? Okay, there is a nice herd down there, yes. But I would have come here in any case. Okay, so basically there, the spongy tissue right in front there, that is what will absorb the shock of the impact as they either headbutt one another for dominance or attack a predator like they attacked us. Because, well, you can imagine running headfirst into something is not necessarily the greatest idea. So there are some people that propose that things like Pachycephalosaurus, which obviously the Kestodon is based on, the Pachycephalosaurs, like Pachycephalosaurus, Homolocephala, and Stygimoloch, Dracorex, all those, although Dracorex, Stygimoloch, and the Pachycephalosaurus may actually just be the same species, just at different developmental stages. But all those creatures, they were most likely headbutting. And there are some scientists that say, oh no, they would not have been able to survive the impact, they would just give permanent brain damage. But with the spongy tissue on top there, that absorbs most of the shock, prevents the shock from actually reaching the brain. So that is a perfect adaptation. You find the same type of adaptation with other headbutters, things like bighorn sheep. The horns and the part of the skull will absorb most of the shock there. So they, most likely, these ones at least, almost certainly, do engage in headbutting behavior. Now that one is blowing bubbles as he is sleeping. Interesting. Now, part of the things I've already discussed, you can also see on the back of the Kestodon there, quite heavily armored scales present there. So they do have some protection on the back there against large flying predators like Raytheon and things like that. So they're not completely defenseless, but they still are quite small. So they would most likely still be taken by a lot of your larger, more dangerous predators. Interesting here that we have got 2 males and 3 females, possibly quite similar to cheetahs, for example. We will have very often sibling males actually forming coalitions. Same with lions as well. You will find that if there are 2 brothers, or 3 brothers in some cases, especially with cheetahs, they tend to stick together and may actually take over a territory together. And so these 2 males may actually be related, and they have gained control over the harem of 3 females here. Oh, they are absolutely beautiful creatures though. Teeny tiny arms, really not very, very useful. Most likely don't use that to dig up food or scrape at bark or pick up leaves or anything like that. They are most likely browsers using their very strong, almost parrot-like beaks there to snip tough vegetation. Ah, that's cool. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we can't capture these guys. We do have to kill them. So let us go and do that, shall we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all feeling today? Aggressive, apparently. Hello. You're all going to still engage in the threat display first? Yes, indeed. Okay. And then the 2 males most likely will charge in first. And if it's the same as with the previous herd, once the males are dead, then the females will attack. Shame. Okay, Memphis the Palico is again going to suffer the brunt of the attacks. Oh, hello. That was sneaky, sneaky. Okay, so first the headbutt on the ground and then the charge. Quite possibly to give us one last chance to just disengage. And then they come in for the blow. Oh. Our 2 females are already dead. This one is stunned. Oh, and I was charged from the back. It's dangerous. These guys are, especially as 2 males, they really are quite dangerous. And you know, that makes sense though, because they can cover one another's rears and their vulnerable spots. No wonder these 2 were able to take over the territory. Okay, so the last female is also dead. Now it's just these 2 males.
Good work. That just about wraps
Oh,
up our
and
work
that
here.
is it?
Wait. Hey, come here. I
Ooh.
think I found something.
Something else. Okay, okay. We're just going to harvest these guys and girls. Leave nothing behind. Oh, a Great Jagras track.
Look at those Kestodon.
Ooh, hello there. Ah, that is beautiful.
Now.
Okay, so I do believe my scout flies are finding where the Great Jagras has gone. Just have a look here, because in the water here, we've got fish there, but I did see something else just a moment ago. Some more fish there. There it is. Ah, where did it go? I'm pretty sure there's a creature called the climbing joy perch around here, which is very similar in appearance to some of the early tetrapods, some of the early 4-legged creatures to come out onto dry land. Ah, unfortunately they seem to be gone now. Okay, let's continue tracking, trying to find the Great Jagras. But yeah, this really is great habitat for the Great Jagras. They are most likely a little bit more ambush hunters rather than active sprinters. But we did see that Great Jagras come out of nowhere to attack the Kestodon, so it most likely snuck up on it and then charged out at the Kestodon and, you know, grabbed one and then swallowed it whole, similar to how reptiles would be swallowing their prey, or most reptiles swallow their prey. Crocodiles, of course, they break pieces off with a death roll. Now, unless I'm very much mistaken, the Great Jagras won't actually attack us unless we attack first. So we should actually be able to, at least in theory, we should be able to walk up to it, no problem, and have a good look at it. Maybe. Ah, spider webs, that's going to be useful, because later on I would like to trap the creatures instead of killing them. It just feels more in line with me as an ecologist. Oh, look at you, carrier and cargo. Hello. Oh, shame. Poor guys were carrying something and I just took it. Here we've got a whole column of ants moving somewhere. Where are you guys going? Possibly going to the nest or going out on a raid. Hello, the ants go marching one by one, hurrah. Ah, I see a bunch of normal Jagras up there. I do not, however, see the Great Jagras in this area. Oh, it has actually... Oh, here we go. Here it is. Hello. Okay, so again, yeah, because we haven't attacked it, it's not attacking us. Very, very interesting. Hello. Yes, we are here. The Jagras, on the other hand, not so accommodating. So now, hopefully the Jagras just leave me alone while we have a look at the Great Jagras. So the Great Jagras here, really based on the iguana. You know, the big lizards from the New World. And as we'll hopefully see in a moment, you can see some characteristics there that you can also find in those iguanas. Here come the Kestodon. They seem to be spooked. There we go. Oh, he's already eaten something. Look at that distended belly. Now, as far as I've heard, the Great Jagras here are big male Jagras. So, male and female Jagras, those smaller ones we saw there. Oh, look at that, regurgitating to the rest of the pack. They bumped me out of my hiding spot. it regurgitated food for the pack there. So the way I understand it, the Jagras, which we have here, that was here a moment ago, we've got typical sexual dimorphism with them there. The males are much more brightly colored than the females. And there we go. This is the meat regurgitated by that Great Jagras for its pack. But anyway, so the Jagras we saw, they're the youngish ones. Males brighter colored, females duller in color. Once the males get a little bit older, they kind of get banished from the pack. So then they go out into the world on their own. But without the pack, they don't do so well. They've got a great chance of actually dying, similar to male lions being banished from the pride once they reach a certain age. And then they, hopefully, they survive long enough to then actually take over a pride again. So that's what happens with the Jagras. The males leave the pack once they reach a certain age. And if they survive long enough, and they become strong enough, they become massive in size, like we can see there. And then they are the Great Jagras. And then they're strong enough to actually take over a pack. So this is one of those males that have proven that it is effective in life, and it is capable of surviving, and it is now the leader of that Jagras pack. Now you see that circle on the face right over there? That is what we call the subtympanal shield. Sub meaning below, tympanal because it is below the tympanum, basically the eardrum of the Great Jagras. And you find that in iguanas as well. The green iguana in particular has a very pronounced subtympanal shield. Now, the function of that is quite unknown. And wow, this guy is fast. Maybe it's not quite as ambush a predator as I thought. Oh wow, has it taken down? It has taken down a young Aptonoth. Wow, and swallowed it whole. Now, of course, this tended belly like that. If we were to attack it now, it may vomit things out at us. And it would also quite possibly regurgitate it. Because, well, if you look at snakes, for example, if they have just eaten and you disturb them, they very often will vomit out the food that they have eaten as a defense mechanism. Kind of goes, it's quite gross, so leave me alone. But it could also be a case of it's too heavy to actually fight properly. But in this case, as far as I recall, the Great Jagras actually uses its weight, its extra weight, as an advantage. So that it can do a bit more damage against you. Anyway, that subtympanal shield I was showing you guys there. Let's just hide up here. While it most likely will regurgitate at its food again. There we go. It does care for the rest of the pack, eh? Quite nicely. Come on, go and eat, Jagras. Leave me alone in my hiding spot. Come on. Thank you. Most of them have left. Okay. This is a male that is close to us. It was quite brightly colored there. But that subtympanal shield that I was trying to talk about before all the Jagras came to us, nobody knows really what the purpose is of that subtympanal shield. So they are trying to find out what the purpose thereof is, but it's unknown, thus far at least. And we will most likely have to actually kill this Great Jagras, because we are otherwise going to run out of time. I don't know how much time we still do have left for this mission. I don't know where to see that. As said previously, I am a noob at this game, so if you've got any tips, feel free to pop it down in the comments below. Oh, it's probably under here somewhere. Oh, there goes. There comes the whole pack again. I don't want to kill creatures unnecessarily, you know. There's the Great Jagras again. This is not a great spot to actually hunt the Great Jagras, because we've got all the other Jagras here as well. They keep on pushing me out of my foliage. Why do you do that? Okay, so I would have imagined they use scent to actually find their food, like a good sense of smell. But no, apparently not, because otherwise they would have been able to smell me hiding in the bush here, most likely using sight to actually find their food. Very similar to a lot of lizards, they do have quite good eyesight as far as I recall. And yeah, here we are. Now, I'm thinking that we follow this Great Jagras, and once we have the opportunity, we take him down. Somewhere where the Jagras, the normal Jagras, are not. And also, hopefully, a relatively open area. Now, it does have a small belly at the moment. It is not filled up with food. It does also drip mucus. Now, this may be a reference to things like Komodo dragons, which, oh, and now it is going to catch food. Komodo dragons, which are drooling constantly. Now, it was thought that that's because, well, in their saliva, they've got bacteria, and they actually kill the prey animals like water buffalo with their poisonous, their bacteria-filled mucus. But in actual fact, they do have venom. They've got true venom as well. They just have a lot of mucus as well. Okay, sorry. Listen here, Jagras, it is time, I'm afraid. I'm really, really sorry. I really am sorry, but we've got to take you out. Let's just see. There we go. So there we go. It was regurgitating something as well there. And using its belly as a nice attack. Ooh, sorry. Aha, there we go. Now, all of this is generally accidental. You know, when I accidentally, when I do mount the animal, I am doing it accidental. Now, interesting, if this is anything like the iguana, they will also have a parietal eye, or a third eye, on the top of their head, which they use to actually pick up daytime and nighttime. And there we go, it says we've got 10 minutes left. Okay, it is doing quite poorly. It's moving quite slowly now, compared to how fast it can move when it actually is hunting. This one is very, very slow at the moment. Now, if this were anything like a snake, they would actually have regurgitated their food completely at this point in time. And that would have enabled it to actually run quite a bit faster than it currently is running.
Much later.
Okay, so apparently it's mad, but it is also on the ground. And I think it's almost dead, eh? Shouldn't be too long now. Look at that thin belly now. It most likely has regurgitated its food now, so that it can try and get in a few good hits at us. It is still surprisingly fast, but it is limping. Now, very few things as dangerous as a predator cornered, but we are running after it. Hopefully we can get to it before we run out of time. It most likely will seek the the safety of its pack though, because up until now it had been fighting alone, but most likely will have... Oh, it charging straight through us apparently. Oh, finally, using your tail! Now, a lot of lizards will use their tails as defensive mechanisms, either by severing it through the process of autotomy, like, you know, grabbing a lizard or a gecko by the tail will break it off, or by whipping you with it, like monitor lizards will do. I, for example, have been whipped by a monitor lizard before. There we go. Okay. Perfect.
Let's head back and report to the old man.
So let's harvest, shall we? Before all the Jagras... Oh, there we go, the Jagras are here. Come on, just leave me alone for a bit. I just want to harvest your previous leader. Please. Are you guys going to attack me now? Or are you going to leave me alone? I'm just going to hide right over here. Not the smartest of creatures, the Jagras here. But you can see here the brightly colored males and then the slightly duller females. You can see how those brightly colored males will actually become the Great Jagras. That went quite well, I say. Let's see, let's see. Oh, feathers. So either a big bird or an avian dinosaur type creature. And some more.
Maybe. Let's check it out.
It's beautiful though, very reminiscent of peacock or peafowl. Oh, some kind of secretion, possibly to mark their territory. You'll find a lot of antelope doing that, marking the territories with some kind of secretion like that. Oh, predators as well, and there we go. Wow. A puke.
Well, you were right.
Huh.
There's our mark.
That is beautiful. There we go. They are the ruffling feathers.
Something's got me agitated.
Well, I'm guessing it's that.
Look over there. What in the heck is that? I've never seen anything like it.
You think it's from Zoranagdaros?
I'd like to find out. But we better report back first. All right?
Alrighty. Interesting, there's new thing in its territory and it is now trying to kind of do a threat display to it. Very agitated by its presence. Okay, so we did also complete some research on the Great Jagras. So we can then talk to the ecological research people up here. Hello there. Let's have a look. What do we know about the Great Jagras? You can aim at the belly to force it to vomit out its prey and significantly weaken it. Interesting, I did not realize that. They use, yeah, there we go, they use the expanded stomachs to attack unsuspecting hunters. Kind of just go belly flop on them, I guess. Now, being large in size can also be an advantage. I mean, ballooning up is a strategy used by a lot of creatures, but generally that is to actually just inhale water or air to make yourself puff up so you look more intimidating and more difficult to swallow. In this case, the Great Jagras does that by actually just eating a whole animal. So, I will, of course, at some point talk about how snakes and so actually swallow their prey. That is very, very interesting. But yeah, for now, I think this is the end of our episode. We have run out of time. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on our little adventure here. Hope you had a lovely time. I had a lovely, lovely time hunting the Kestodon and then the Great Jagras. So if you've got any questions, please do pop it down in the comments below. Any tips you may have, also feel free to drop those down there. And then, of course, on Sunday, Nick and I will be doing a live stream of Ark Survival Ascended, if our internet is working, because it again has been up and down, up and down. But you will see on Sunday whether we do have that. And then next week, of course, on Tuesday, another Towers of Agaspa video. And Friday, another Monster Hunter World video coming out as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Until next time, stay safe. I'll see you all then. Cheers!